Hi, everybody. My name is Adedayo Fashanu, and I am sitting, well, Skyping with Mr. Ahmad Alhendawi. And I don't know if I got the pronunciation of your name right, because I should be getting it right by now. But he's kind enough to join us on this conversation where we're going to be talking about how to engage young people in the Sustainable Development Goals. And he's also going to be talking to us about his new role as the Secretary General and Envoy of the World Organization's CAP movement. So, hi, Ahmed, how are you?
Very good. Great talking to you, and good to reconnect again. Yeah.
Yes. We did an interview last year when you were still the UN envoy on youth for Forbes, and it was a great story and interview at that time. But now things have changed. This is like almost a year later, which I had no idea everything was going to change so soon. But
Yeah.
it's like a lot has happened since since we last spoke. So now you left from being the first. The youngest also Secretary General Envoy on Youth for the UN, and now you've transitioned to being the Secretary General of the World Organization Scout Movement.
Yeah.
That is, I mean, congrats first of all.
Thank you.
But can you really tell us what this position is all about? I mean, how is this role different from being the Envoy on Youth?
Well, this my role as the Secretary General of the World Organization of the Scout Movement uh, is uh, is an opportunity to serve an organization that I joined when I was very young, when I was just 12 years old, and I think it's been a passion of my life. That's where my activism has started, and after almost 20 years of first time I joined the world scouting, I have the opportunity now to come back again to this massive movement. The Scout movement is 110 years old, was founded first by Lord Baden-Powell back in the United Kingdom. And since then, it has attracted over 500 million young people over the decades. And currently, we have over 40 million active members around the world in 165 national organizations. So the World Organization is an umbrella organization, as a confederation that brings together 165 national organizations serving over 40 million young people to enjoy the magic of scouting. Scouting, as you know, it's an educational method that allows young people to develop themselves physically, intellectually, spiritually, and emotionally, and experience by learning by doing the importance of serving others and observing your duty to self and to God and others. I think this organization is the house of this movement and the house of the scouting movement. And when you ask me how is this different from my previous role, my previous role was as a UN envoy in youth was a unique position for advocating for the rights and interests of young people in all different processes and supporting the policy settings and also the different intergovernmental processes at the UN, engaging with member states. It's really a unique and powerful position. But after having seen the adoption of the Sustainable Development Goals and the Security Council Resolution, Youth, Peace and Security, and many other developments, I think my current role is all about action and is all about working with young people and directly in the front lines of conflicts or of facing the difficulties and the hardships or responding to crisis, and working with our member organizations who are supporting young people and supporting the scouts in their countries. So this is more about, I feel if my previous job was, I was fortunate enough to see the setting of the Sustainable Development Goals and support that process. And now I feel I'm very fortunate to have the opportunity to work alongside over 40 million scouts to translate the SDGs and unlock the power of young people.
Let's take this back a bit, right? So, when you were the envoy in youth, how did you help millennials? Like, how exactly do you think you helped young people? How exactly do you think you helped millennials being the envoy in youth? I mean, just reflection of your 4 years
I
there?
think I think the things that I'm proud of, together with the team I worked with, that we have managed to elevate youth issues to the UN and beyond. We have engaged with so many member
Mm,
states and discussing the importance of investment, direct investment in young people, designing youth policies, the fact of integrating over 60 indicators almost in the new Sustainable Development Goals compared to very little that was captured in the Millennium Development Goals is a main achievement.
yeah.
The peace and security, I mean, for the Security Council to adopt a resolution on youth, peace and security 2250, that was
Mm-hmm.
a great achievement for the youth sector. And I think the role of them, or my job, was to be a catalyst and to support all the different youth movements in climate change and peace and security and development, and give them also the help they need in order to get their message across and to influence these processes. I'm also proud that I have spent considerable amount in the field. I've visited over 80 countries, met with so many people, and more. I had the opportunity of
Wow.
meeting with their governments and meeting with their leaders and championing their causes. From championing the causes of lots of young people who are facing difficulties even starting
Mm,
businesses in Zambia, to championing the right of young people to be elected to public office in Nigeria and joining their campaign Not Too Young to Run, or working with the Ugandan young girls in Pakistan and Uganda and championing the right for young women and for young girls to be girls and not moms, and for adopting
mm,
a law to prevent early child marriage, and vast array of issues that I had the opportunity to work with amazing young people to support them. So I hope
mm-hmm.
that was helpful, and I'm confident that knowing how the UN and the international system works, if you don't have a seat around the table, the new
Yeah.
issues more likely get lost and get ignored. So what I try to do all the time is making
Yeah.
sure that young people have a seat around the table.
And that takes me to the very next question I was going to ask you, which is, a lot of young people seem to have, I mean, even people I know, of course, right? They seem to have taken to you being a role model, being a mentor, being a voice for, for, I guess, for this generation, given the position and you being at the table. So I'm sure there must have been some things that was within your scope of influence and some things beyond your scope of influence. So, what do you think some of those things were if you look at the bandwidth of what you could do and what you couldn't do as Enron, your things that you hoped that you could do more of?
Of course, I mean, like any international civil servant, and there you are sometimes confronted with the limitations of your ability to influence big events. For example, I come from a region that has seen a lot of suffering, and the Arab region with all these
Mm,
conflicts, and one would hope that you could do more to bring sanity, I would say, to even to decision makers or decision making processes. And
yeah.
there are lots of limitations related to financial constraints, ability to sometimes mobilize enough, fast enough. But at the same time, you are always surrounded by people with who have the goodwill and the passion to do more. And I think the reality of our world that nobody can do everything, but everybody can do something.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you try to focus more on seeing what that thing that you can offer in order to make the world a better place around you. And the UN is a intergovernmental institution working with member states, and I always say that succeeding in these positions is a balancing act between frustration management and expectations management. While you make a
Yeah.
steady progress all the
Like,
time, and one should never be intimidated by the forces that are trying to curb you down, but to keep the
mm-hmm.
momentum going. And I would say it's there are limitations in every role, but I learned how to do things with what I have, not only with what I need. And when you look
Mm,
around you, you'll find what you have is massive, and it's a lot. And I think the most important thing is is rallying together with others and working in partnerships with youth organizations, and now I'm on the leading an amazing youth organization, the Scout Movement. I think it's just a continuation for my belief that there's no one office, there's no one actor, there's no one organization has all the solutions.
Yeah.
But we need to work together.
Yeah. So what else would you have liked? And what else would you have liked to do for young people in your position that you didn't get to do within those 4 years? I mean, if you were given more time, what would you have liked to do?
No, I think I have done justice to a lot of the commitments I made, and there's always the unfinished agenda in business that can be carried, and I think it was a good timing for me as well to step down and to after 4 great years that I have given my best, and what other things one could always think of the moon. I mean, and think of so many things you can do. But for the realities and for the fact that it was the first time the UN has this role, I think a lot of the work went into establishing the space for young people and the UN and the world stage. And I think I'm very happy that that space is not shrinking but rather expanding, and hopefully that will continue to expand in the future.
So. Of course, you know, we just have, they recently appointed a new female environment youth, right, who took the baton from you, and now she's going to be taking the position that you were at. What do you have to say? I mean, what are your words to her? And what do you have to say about her? What advice do you have for her, in other words?
Well, first, I congratulated Jayatma. She's an amazing youth advocate, and I'm really very excited for her. And I know that she will do a great job. She's committed, smart, and I think she will be able to excel in this role. And I don't really have much of an advice. I mean, I think she will find her voice in doing this great role, and she has what it takes to go far and to do great things. And the realities are different. I have done it with certain realities, and I think some of that will change, and she will be able to do great things. And I wouldn't go in the path of offering public advice. I think I could share a few directly with her, but I think she doesn't really need much of my advice. I mean, she will be able to do great things by herself, and we will all support her, of course.
Okay, we will take that. Okay, so there's been, you know, I was right before we got on this call, I got on the call with a friend who's been also like, he's worked at the UN before and done a lot of some development work, you know, and I said, do you have any question you would like for me to ask Ahmad? And you know, even just talking, right, from my research and just communicating with peers about this, about what's going on in the world, there seems to be either like an air of like total seriousness or total exhaustion from people about what's going on, about the state of the world. So how do you advise young people to go about looking at the state of the world and to stay motivated? How would you advise on that for young people?
I mean,
especially engaging in the in the SDGs as well.
We just cannot afford to not engage. We cannot afford to not care and follow what's happening around us. The world is not in a great shape. I mean, there are complex challenges facing us, and a lot of these challenges are existential ones. I mean, climate change, terrorism, peace and security issues that are affecting the lives of so many. And young people, whenever they show up, whenever they raise their voices, they are able to bring some good change. I mean, if you look to just recently, looking to the French election, for example, we have seen 2/3 almost of the parliament coming with young women and minorities, and even at times when we think the situation is very difficult, we're always reminded that when young people come forward, they can bring some good news. And I think that the lesson here is for any young person not to be discouraged or demotivated. And the challenges will always be massive, and so are the opportunities. And
Yeah.
I think, especially when it comes to political processes or economic activities or job creation, we're seeing how young people are changing a lot, and changing the way things are being done around them in so many different sectors. So I do have a great faith in young people, and I understand a lot of the frustration, but I think we need to renew our resolve to do well in the world and help those who are most vulnerable. And in my current role and my previous role, I remain very, very worried about the situation of young people who are affected by conflicts. And I hope that we will be able to do much more to help those who are paying, and I wouldn't say paying the price, but having, because they didn't do anything wrong for them to pay a price, but rather ending up to endure all this suffering. And I think we need to help them. So my message is being demotivated or discouraged is not the way forward. I think we need to keep each other focused on the bigger picture, and the fact that we can do great things when we are determined.
Yeah, so given your position, at the World Organization of SCAP movement, and also looking at the Sustainable Development Goals. So when you merge those two, what are some of the practical steps that you can tell young people to look into in terms of being able to fulfill those goals or be a part of the change makers who are looking to make a difference through the SDGs? And also, what are some,
No, I think it's very difficult for me to hide my excitement when it comes to the SDGs. In fact, here behind me, I have the all the SDGs are put in a frame, so I can look at them every day and remember that part of my job is to make sure that we honor the commitment that the world has made, and we're very committed in the Scout movement to do everything in our power to translate the Sustainable Development Goals to reality. In fact, our conference this August, our governing conference, is prepared to adopt a resolution on for the Scout movement to adopt the Sustainable Development Goals, and for our national organization to take actions on the SDGs. Now, the exciting thing is the Scout movement will become the world's largest member-based movement to work for the SDGs, and we're talking about a growing network of that will reach soon 50 million members, and that's massive. And actually, I remember when I left the UN, the Secretary General Ban Ki-moon at that time, he told me this is a good deal for the UN because we will lose one, but we will win 40 million for the SDGs. And I thought, this is seeing now the commitment around me from all my colleagues. I think we are determined to have all the Scouts also playing a role. Our theory here, what we do best in the Scout movement, is to invest in education and non-formal education. The Scout method, which enabled me 20 years ago and many others to really realize their full potential by experiencing that the Scouting method and the education we offer to young people. And I think that's what we are seeing today. So we are determined to invest more in education for sustainable development and education for human rights, and through that we will be able to unlock the power of young people to take on all the other 16 goals. Our focus is goal number 4, education, and through that goal we tackle the other 16 goals. We're also exploring partnerships where we'll be working with some big partners to support us finance local projects and support by funding a lot of the local projects. We have a great experience there in our flagship program, Messengers of Peace, and we have funded and supported hundreds of projects around the world, and we contributed to over 750 million hours of service. And I think we can do more of that for the SDGs going forward. So we are very, very excited, and we're very thrilled about the possibilities of us really going out and working at a new speed for the Sustainable Development Goals. There might be some challenges for everyone. I think there are momentous, I would say, challenge ahead of humanity to achieve these goals in just 13 years from now. And we have 17 goals to be achieved in 13 years, which means we have more goals than years. And my theory, I think we have no time to waste. So we need to roll up our sleeves and make sure that we get down to business and we do everything in our power. And that's why I'm really super excited about the endless possibilities by working with the Scouts for getting the goals translated into realities in the local context.
So you basically answered like 4 questions I was going to ask you about the Scout movement and how you plan on engaging young people. So you basically stated that. So when you look at, let's talk about unemployment and youth, right? And unemployment is, I think there was a report that came out most recently also about, unemployment. And this report keeps coming out. But how is a Scout able to help curb the unemployment rates, especially in the youth population?
Okay, I will be telling you a public secret now. We are just concluding an important research on the impact of Scouting in different areas. And we are looking to the values, we are looking to also the employability, and looking to the soft and hard skills among the Scouts. And we are coming to a conclusion almost with the current research that we are carrying in 3 countries, that Scouts have scored at least 20% more than non-Scouts in a lot of the areas at a young age, because the methods you learn Scouting are, as the UK Scouts call them, skills for life. They are skills that you carry with you wherever you go, and they bring more resilience, more innovation, and more self-reliance. And I think that's what what the Scouting is all about at the end. It's about you realizing that you will do your best at all times, and you will be able to help others and never take no as an answer, and try to always innovate and battle hardships and difficulties. I think that the attitude, that the winner mentality, and the collaboration that we need in our world today, while you are being mindful for your surrounding and the environment where you live in. So I think in employment, while we focus on education, we get to learn that through Scouting actually it offers a lot of good skills that will come in handy when you go for the labor market. It's not only about the degree, but also about the interpersonal skills, and that's our core investment. And we believe when we invest more in this type of non-formal education through our unique Scouting method, we are able to unlock the real power of young individuals, so they will be able to become better employees and better employers, because a lot of the Scouts, they go on as well to start their own businesses, because taking risk and
entrepreneurship.
Absolutely. And the entrepreneurship is an embedded concept, because for you to be a leader at a very young age and taking care of another group in the nature, it's a lot about showing that entrepreneurial skill and the ability to protect your group, at the same time being able to navigate in difficult situations. And we also know that through the entrepreneurship element that was carried through the movement, we're seeing more of our community impact, and the projects we're carrying in the community level being very much impacting positively the lives of many others. So so many different ways. I think the Scouting method is an enabler for young people to become better employers and employers.
Wow, that's interesting. So we're going to be wrapping up shortly. What are some key? So what are some things coming up? I know you mentioned the conference, but So let's just refresh people as we wrap up this conversation. Tell us a bit about the conference coming up, and also what do you have to say in terms of people? What can people look forward to with you being in this new position? I know from being the envoy on youth at the UN, you've sort of grown your followership and grown attention where people now look up to you as a strong mentor, as a strong voice, right? And you still have a lot of people who still are growing with you on this journey of development. So what are some advice to young people who are leaders, and also some things coming up for you that we should know about the World Cup organization?
Well, I first, our conference this August is happens once every 3 years. Is our World Scout conference. Follow the conference and follow our social media to learn more about it. Visit our website and scout.org, and you will find a lot of interesting things about what we are preparing for this summer. The conference is a great opportunity for us because it brings representatives of 165 national organizations to take decisions that will impact the lives of many millions of young people around the world. So we're very excited about the new direction we are taking, and by looking for the progress we have made and making new commitments. And one of the main ones, as I said, is going to be about the Sustainable Development Goals. Now, about my own path and the Scout movement, I would invite young people to really get involved. The story of my life has been that I care about public service, and I carry these values with me wherever I go. And it's a very special thing to me personally to be able, after this journey, to be able to come back home to the place where my activism has started in the Scout movement, to contribute again for its development. So for me, coming back here is really a call for helping out and supporting to grow our movements even further. Our objective and our vision is by the year 2023 to grow to 100 million scouts in the world. And that's a very exciting vision, to the 100 million to become active citizens.
What's the age limit for the Scout movement, to join the Scout movement?
I mean,
what's the age range?
Once a scout, always a scout. So we don't like to define, but it practically starts from 5 years old with Cub Scouts in many countries. It goes up to 24, 26. It depends on the context and the national context. But the amazing thing is we have millions of volunteers. For example, when we have the Jamboree, and the next Jamboree is going to be close to where you are right now. It's going to be in West Virginia in 2019. And this happens once every 4 years. And the Jamboree is a gathering for 50,000 scouts. 50,000, they gather from all around the world. And together with a few thousand volunteers who are coming, they pay for themselves just to be there and to support others. Because once you experience that experience of the Jamboree and the experience of the scouting spirit, believe me, people keep coming back, because that's just an example of what works in our world today. And it's a beautiful manifestation of the power of young people and friendships and the international solidarity in its best images. So I think we are going to display more of that and inspire more young people around the world. And I hope for anyone who has followed Ahmad and who know me and interested in my career to get to learn more about what we do here in the Scout movement, because it's a truly moving and very, very amazing experience in so many ways. And I hope many young people will be inspired, whether to join Scouting or to join other causes, but to at the end to make a contribution to their communities. And I think that's what matters at the end.
Yeah, I think so too. And personally, for me, I want to say, congratulations again.
Thank you.
And I do believe that, being at the Scout movement, you've really brought a new face and a new voice to people learning more or discovering, some new things, giving a new view, a new eyes to the work that has already been happening with the organization and is also yet to come. So I think a lot of us are going to be watching and looking at how we can actually engage and really partner, because people that have grown with you, being the Environ Youth, they've sort of grown to be leaders of their own organizations today, of their own non-profits and stuff. So I'm sure they're also looking on how can we partner, how can we make an impact, what can we do to also reinforce the mission of the Scout movement and their own mission. So I'm sure you have a lot of eyes on you now, and you've got new attention to this organization. So congrats again on that.
Thank you,
And
Adedayo.
so
Thank you
that's
very
it for
much.
us. We're going to wrap up right here. And so this is going to be you can watch this replay on the Huffington Post, and then also on my platform, tantv.co, and of course on your timeline too, and the website of the Scout movement. So I guess that's it for us right
Thank
here.
you, Adedayo. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, and I hope to chat with you again
Good
soon.
talking to you. I hope so. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay.